To Iran now, where strikes and protests continue 3 months after the death of the young Kurdish woman Gina Mahsa Amini in police custody. The Islamic regime has begun to execute people associated with the protests, including 6 people who were sentenced to death this week. Among them, one young man who was arrested for setting a bin on fire. Well, hundreds of people have been killed in the crackdown and thousands detained. To talk more about it, we're joined by Iranian activist Sana Ebrahimi. Thank you very much for joining us, Sana. So we're getting really disturbing reports, not only about people being sentenced to death, but about some prisoners being subjected to mock executions. Do you have the information on that?
Yes, this morning we have received horrific news. Right now I have a list of 39 people in danger because they've been convicted with waging war against God, which is something that most likely will lead to receiving death sentence. But the horrific things that we've received this morning is 3 names that have been transferred to individual cells to be executed tomorrow. I'm going to read their names. Salman Sayedi, Mohammad Burgani, and Mohsen Shekari. They are in Rajai Shah prison, and they're going to be executed tomorrow without even taking those theatrical legal steps. Now, there are 5 more people that have been convicted to death. Among them, 2 of them are Hamid Garhasanlu and Farzana Garhasanlu, his wife, with all made up sentence and made up accusations. And at the same time, meanwhile, we are talking, every day there are unnoticed executions in south of Iran. They are executing Baluch people, and they are so overlooked, and they have no voice, and no one knows what's going on there. At the same time, we have minors underage, under 18, in the prison and getting under torture. Paria Faramarzi have been transferred to the hospital twice. She had an eye stroke. She's only 16. Among those people, the list of 38 people, there are 3 17 years old, and they are in great danger. They are receiving long-term prison, and the list goes on and on.
It's absolutely horrific. But despite the terrible things that the regime is doing, the protests do continue, don't they, Sana? We're approaching the 3-month mark. Are you surprised that they have gone on so long?
No, and we expect this to go as long as the regime gets overthrown and get abolished, because now they just finished the 2nd day of nationwide strike. Major cities have been on a strike. Meanwhile, Secretary Antony Blinken is talking about nuclear deal to help people financially, and the same as regime apologists. But people are voluntarily going on a strike and taking all this financial pressure only to damage the regime and getting them abolished eventually. So this is a very huge message to the world, and I'm asking everyone to listen to this while media have been hijacked by apologists and reformists and regime lobby.